Welcome to Solve It Like a Marketer. I'm Stephen Hobey. Today, we will be exploring the first step to project planning. Very important. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so that you get notified every week. Don't go away. All right, so this week I thought I would cover something that you may not have come across before in project planning, and they call it a project charter. So what is this? It's basically, say, a 1 or 2 page document that presents the scope of your project. It may also have, it'll have the objectives, but it may also have budget, risks for the project, stuff like that. The great thing about this is you want to be able to bring your team together to actually develop this document. And I think even though there are benefits to developing a project scope document or a charter document, just the very fact that you're bringing your team together in order to create this kind of creates a bond, as well as being able to clearly define what the project is. Again, you know what? All the time I find in working with different teams of people, there is the scope creep, the forever scope creep that may come into play, which is when you've got a certain project, it has certain direction, and then it starts to creep into other areas, right? So the whole objective starts to become blurred. So if you can put in a document, in this case a charter, exactly what the project covers, then you're going to avoid that scope creep. It also creates stakeholder buy-in. I think this is an important one because remember that it may not be just your immediate team that you need to win over, right? There may be peripheral people as well. Maybe those are executives that you need to answer to. So having this document also creates buy-in from them as well. And you know what? Buy-in is really important to have, especially at the beginning of a project, all the way through that project. Because I find that if you start a project and then you kind of only introduce it right at the end, they don't have that kind of energy towards it. They don't have that excitement or buy-in. And so you're kind of selling the project near the completion. So you want to do that more at the beginning. And, start and end dates, very important. So maybe one thing I always create is a critical path, right? So have sort of set dates so that you know when you're supposed to be accomplishing certain things. And lastly, you want to make sure that this charter for this particular project aligns with your organization's goals. So you don't want to be doing a project that's way over here and that doesn't actually align with your company's objectives. Again, when I think about objectives, these could be the larger objectives of a company, say its mission statement, or they could be the objectives in a particular year or a particular quarter. So it's good to be able to document these things right up front. So how do you go about sort of creating this project charter? Well, again, as I've mentioned, the first thing you want to do is gather your team and gain their insights. So even if you are the one that's leading the project and you have a pretty good idea in your mind about the scope of the project, bring everybody together and again, get that sense of buy-in, but they will have an objective viewpoint and insights that you may not have thought of. They'll be able to, again, give those realistic deadlines because if they're also contributing to the project, they will have their own deadlines that they're going to need to deal with. This one's kind of funny. They point out to store the charter in a central location. So what does that mean? Well, in other words, make sure that it's accessible to everybody. So for instance, it might be a Google Doc. and everybody has access to that central Google Doc. They can go in there, they can reference it, they can make comments, they can make changes. And again, this feeds into the buy-in for the project and ownership of that project. Also keep it brief, right? So I mentioned at the top, you know what? 1 or 2 pages is fine. Sometimes these things can go on for pages and pages and pages. And you know what? The thing is, no one's going to read a 15-page document. So the very process, actually, of distilling down your thoughts into 1 to 2 pages, and this may include kind of the objectives, which might be a blurb, the budgetary breakdown, the dates in terms of deliverables. Again, keep it short because, again, if anyone outside of your team also wants to reference this at some point, they're going to want to be able to look at it at a glance and be able to understand what it is that you're actually doing. The other good piece of advice is to add visuals if you can. Charts, graphs, anything colorful is a good thing. Again, words on a page are great, but something with color just makes it pop, and maybe people actually read it with a little more detail. And finally, you know what? Don't skip any important elements. So really think it through. My suggestion is to come together as a team, write a draft, walk away from it, and then come back to it in a week and make sure that you haven't skipped anything. So in essence, that's what to do with a project charter. So I actually find this one kind of interesting. I was doing some online research for this episode, kind of looking at projects, what to do when you're sort of initially launching a project. And I came across the project charter, and I'd never heard it called this before. And that's why I wanted to present this. Now, for me, as I mentioned, I always do critical path. If I'm working with a client, usually I have to put together some kind of proposal, which kind of looks like a project charter, because I'm proposing what the objectives are for a particular project, how long it's going to take, and how long it would cost. My question to you is, if you were working inside of an organization, or maybe you are, would you create a project charter? Or maybe there's something that you already do that's like a project charter. So I'm interested to know what you think. Are there other elements that you would add to this beyond kind of the scope of the project, the budget, who's involved, that sort of stuff? Are there other things or elements? Is there another approach that you would give? Or do you just think it's a waste of time? So as always, I want to hear your thoughts on this and more. So please comment below. As always, if you like these videos, please hit that subscribe button and share so that, well, everyone could enjoy the videos. That would be great. You can also buy me a coffee if your heart so desires. That link is below. I do a lot of research, editing, writing, and of course recording and uploading and sharing with you. And you know what? A coffee goes a long way. So I would appreciate that. I do have a few social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, and I try and put something out there so that you never miss an episode or a particular topic. I'm on LinkedIn if you want to join me there. I always want to hear from you. So if you do have comments, write them below. If you have ideas for other episodes that you'd like me to write, please reach out to me. I'd really appreciate that. And you know what? Weekly, I put out a new video every Wednesday, so look out for it. And together, let's solve it like a marketer.